Hey legends, I hope you're all well. I thought it'd be about time that I give a quick health update on what's all happening. As you're probably all aware, most of the recent scans that we've been doing have been showing that everything's pretty stable and not much is changing in my head. I've got another scan in about 4 weeks. There'll be a 3-monthly interval scan to see if there's any change or not. Now, a lot of people ask me a lot about my illness because it's not that easy to understand as of types of cancer and everything, and they're just so different in between. So I'll quickly go over it. So my tumour sits on my left motor strip that controls my right hand and leg. Doctors are very surprised I don't have any neurological deficits, and as far as I'm aware, I don't have any. And as far as we're aware at the moment, the tumour is pretty stable. Now, if you search in Google, particularly my condition, it will say life expectancy is normally 5 to 7 years post diagnosis. But you've got to remember that those averages take into account everyone from the very young to the very old to other health conditions, gender, everything goes into that. So it's not something to weigh too much on. But if you are wondering, at the moment, I'm about 2.5 years post-diagnosis into, if you believe the average is 5 or 7 years. Currently, we can't remove the tumour due to the riskiness of it. The tumour sits on the motor strip and unlike other areas in the body where they can remove tissue around the cancer cells as well, you don't want to be touching too much brain matter. That shit's pretty important. If my tumour was on your leg, you just cut out the tumour and the muscle and the fat all around it and eventually just take your leg. With mine sitting on the motor strip, if you cut that out, I will have a neurological deficit, and they can't really tell me if that would be from a tingling in my pinky finger all the way to being paralysed on one side of my body. And with that surgery as well, the reason I've chosen not to have the operation is unless they get more than 95% of the tumour cut out, it doesn't actually increase your life expectancy at all. And the worst thing that could possibly happen is they cut out 50% of the tumour, I get a massive neurological deficit and my life expectancy doesn't change. Even if they go in and cut it all out, due to the mutation of the cells within my body and a chromosomal disorder, that life expectancy, it increases typically and will give me more time having it removed, but they can't tell me how long. It could be a couple of years, couple of months, whatever. So I'm sort of at the point at the moment of, well, I'd rather, while I've got no deficits, whatever, live my life to the fullest extent that I can. And then, if things start changing and whatever, or my circumstances change, maybe I'll look at a surgery down the track. But at the moment, not really worth it. Now, these tumours tend to change very rapidly once they start. So everyone who's followed me for a while has seen, over the periodic scans, primarily being 3 months, that nothing has really changed. But once it can change, these typically can double in size or completely change their form within an 18-hour period. So once it changes, it'll start changing very quickly. But as we've seen, all good results so far, and I thought I'd just give a quick little health update. I hope it didn't bore you too much. Look, I'm sending my love to all the Victorians tonight. I know it's a very hard time, but we just all have to remember to do the right thing, do the right thing by us and by our neighbours and by our friends, family, and communities. So I hope you've all had a great weekend and a great week with what's to come. Right, thanks, guys. Look after yourselves. Cheers.